When I've done signings before, I've seen a distinct look of disappointment on someone's face when they see that I look normal. I was so young when I received my first Tintin book, which is a normal thing for most French or Belgian kids. But for me, it was even before I could read. So for me, it was looking at those books incredibly carefully. And for example, the end papers, which I've already used in other books, there was something that was very compelling, because you would see some characters you recognized, and then I knew there were other books out there that were telling other stories that I hadn't read. So it was frustrating, but also very intriguing at the same time, looking at these evidence of other stories that I couldn't read. I had a friend whose parents were French, and he had two French books by Hergé, and I'm looking at this, and it's in French, and I can follow the pictures, but I don't know what Snowy's saying. I don't know what Tintin is saying. I could have chosen another style or another artist besides Hergé, but for me it's a personal decision because it's something that meant that world was something very clear and strong to me at an age before I had formulated what that real world was out there. It was a very internalized world. In this book, I really all those elements just kind of rose to the surface, and I did want to use those elements in a more explicit way. There's nothing random about it. Where Burroughs was using a collage technique, an art technique, applied to writing. This has the appearance of a collage technique, but is really very, very precise, controlled. Originally, the cut-up technique was discovered by his friend Brian Geisen, who was cutting newspaper. He was cutting a mat, and he was cutting newspapers, and then he noticed that pieces had come together and formed new sentences. For me, that really wasn't an influence for me. It's random juxtapose of words. I was more interested in his very explicit his imagery. He's a very visual artist, a very visual writer, and I think I took some of the kind of surface techniques of his cut up later to impose on the story. There's the appearance in this book because it's piecing the same story with some new portions. But if you actually start at the very beginning and try to read even without the fake text, it has the sense of a progression, not just. I use disease and disfiguration as more of a metaphor rather than a fascination of the actual disease. I would have friends when I was in art school. They would show me. They would say. They'd have photographs. Oh, you'll love this. It's dental surgery photographs. I go, no. My interest is really in the idea that the characters are manifesting something physically that is inside of them. For example, in Black Hole, I use a character who takes her skin comes off like a snake. And for me, the idea of this transformation, I know that when I was that age, you want to reinvent yourself and that feeling of wanting to be out of your skin, to recreate yourself. The storytelling for me is always the most important part, and again, it's always this slow distillation of all these elements. So it's almost like juggling, where you've got all these things and you're trying to catch everything. And the fragmented and very elliptical way of storytelling will slowly come to the core of the story. The frustration or the difficulty is the writing and the combining the visual and the written to fit perfectly. Because of the complexity of the story, I need an outline of everything, of where the story's progressing and all the elements, how they will fit together. Within that structure, I have room to discover new things, and that's what's most important for me, to have that ability to discover new things as I'm working. I have my friend Chris Ware. I don't know if you all know Chris Ware, but Chris Ware, who claims that he sits down to a white sheet of paper and starts drawing his story. He says he has some notes, but it's
Chris also,
he just starts drawing, and that's it. That's how he works. I have notes and notes and notes and notes, piles of notes and sketches and little drawings and everything possible. I sometimes note cards, sometimes writing prose on the computer, everything, anything. So on the one hand, there was a style of comics, the black and white reprints that I was looking at. I think visually that was the style that I was most attracted to. So in this new book, on the one hand you have my more typical style, this very dark black and white style, and then the clear line style. So for me it's playing with these two opposites and comparing those two and how those two parts play off of each other. I think there's a part of me that really thinks in black and white. I can refer back to, I was telling you before, looking at black and white reprints of comic strips, and I know that was a look that I really tried to emulate for years and years. I did want to try a challenge or to push myself in a new direction, and what's been very nice or very enjoyable is having this new set of tools to tell the story, to think about how to tell a story, how you can use color to set a mood or simply as a device to tell a story. Colors as an echo of what happened earlier in the story, as a signifier, as a way of reminding you of a previous situation.